Hi folks, Job Comics here, having a look at an old Bronze Age war comic. This is DC Men of War, issue number 14, probably one of the later DC war books to come out. I think it's got a Kubert cover, and it's, drop my glasses, it's Gravedigger here, alone amidst the swirling sands of death, yeah, I was replying to a comment in one of my other videos, and they were talking about how they never bought the Dollar Comic war books, and I said, I never bought them neither. I was never that great a fan of the war books, but I think as I've got older, I've got a more, I don't know, they have much more of an appeal to me. This is Jack C. Harris writing it, and Dick Ayers, Romeo Tanghal doing the art. So when I see these, I always end up picking them up because I quite enjoy just sort of looking at them and going through them, and checking out the art and the story and seeing what was going on. It's really quite interesting. It seems to be that Gravedigger here is the sort of main character of this run. I'm more familiar with Sergeant Rock and the Unknown Soldier, if I'm honest. I know that they've got GI Combat and good lord, what did he do to that guy? And yeah, crikey, this was very much of its time, wasn't it? Damn. So there's probably a certain element of, yeah, you'd never get away with this these days. But the interesting thing about this series is that, you could probably replace that character with Batman or something, and it would probably come across as a similar type of story. So like I said, I'm not really familiar with this stuff at all, and but it is dead interesting to see it. Look at these Treasury editions. I bet they're worth a few bucks now, huh? Especially that one there. And there you can buy Kryptonite. Of course you can. DC, you'd sell you anything. So there's Gravedigger getting out of this situation in the desert. I have no idea what was going on there. Here's the letters page. Let's see who's writing in. It's 1979, I think, yeah. Mike Bates from Pontiac. And the editor says, I'm going to step back from the current debate and let the readers take over this letter column. Oh, was this more controversial than I bargained on? And then Beppe Sabatini. As a closing note, we'd like to mention that this issue wraps up the current Enemy Ace Tripartite, C-in-30, Paul Levitz. So I take it there was a backup story. Of course there is. Let's see who was doing this. Enemy Ace, Bob Kanigher. Oh wow, Howard Chaykin doing the art on this. That's quite interesting, isn't it? I love Howard Chaykin stuff. If you've never read American Flag, you need to go back and take a look at that. I'm sure I did a video on American Flag about 30 years ago. Yeah, Howard Chaykin's still putting stuff out. Gosh, so he's been around for a while. His style is very distinct, isn't it, Howard Chaykin's? Talk, 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 talk. And look, here's some Western stuff. There's Scalp Hunter and Jonah Hex. Again, I used to like Jonah Hex occasionally. I did a video recently where we had the death of Jonah Hex. There we go. I think Howard Chaykin had a particular love of these wartime books. What's happening in the Daily Planet? 978. Yuletide Mystery stumps Batman and Plastic Man. Hard to imagine. There's Hembeck. Yeah. Ask the Answer Man, because let me tell you kids, before the internet we used to write into comics if we wanted to know how much Detective Comics 277 was worth. And in good condition it was worth $1. It's worth a bit more now. Why not have a JLA Avengers team up? Hey, that's something which would have to be worked out between the executives at both companies. And there's no plan. Well, they did that, yeah. Where is the Newsboy Legion? Nobody cares. When the Flash vibrates through a wall, why don't his feet go through the floor? It's because his forward motion keeps him from sinking, you numpty. Ultra Boy, because you can... So there you go. Isn't that an interesting snapshot of the time? Yeah, fabulous. I hope you enjoyed looking at that. If you did, why don't you subscribe to the channel? If I see any more Men of War, I'll pick them up and let you all have a look at them. Nobody ever sees them. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.